Completely unrelated.
Are you sure?
Did you pick Android because of the cute redhead in the art?
Yes, but that was before I knew that Dave was going to disallow that sort of shenanigans.
Yeah, that's weird. We're a bunch of grown men. I don't do that. We all know the real reason why I don't do that is because I would refuse to refer to you by the correct pronoun.
Dave
I would
confirmed for
only.
transphobic. I'm so triggered right now.
In everything but the physical, I am a bear. Rawr.
Okay, okay. So you want to play an android?
I think so.
What? But what manner of android do you want to play?
What is an android?
What?
Miserable
So
pile
like
of circuits.
Yeah.
so like maybe like think of a couple scenarios and like what's your android doing, right? Like if we drop your android like into the middle of a fight, how is it fighting? If we drop it like into a social scenario, like how's it handling itself?
Lots of beeping, lots of booping.
Being called a toaster.
Lots of breaking it down on the dance floor. As is being illustrated right now. Thank you.
Nice,
Thank you
nice.
for that.
Oh my!
There we go. There we go. The arm, yep. All of that. And so much more.
So if you're interested in doing something that we can't do, that like nobody's filling already, you could be a android street dog, which I think would actually be really interesting.
I was actually considering that, looking at the archetypes,
Yeah.
So
looking at the types that they have in the book here.
Yep.
Aside from hacker, I think that's really the only one that was sticking out to me, because you guys already got bounty hunter and smuggler covered, and androids can't be Zeeks, so
And Tom's our hacker.
yeah.
I am willing to give it up if you want it, though.
No.
I'll be right back, guys.
No, it's quite alright, honestly.
I mean, in fairness, Tom does have a lot going on.
It's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, you could definitely be a shit hot hacker if you want.
A Nova hot hacker.
You probably just moved out of Bob Soldier.
Well, I don't have any sort of idea for the character yet, like formulated in my head. But the idea of an android operating on humans was kind of interesting to me.
I mean, I think that sounds cool as hell, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
You'd have like the arm augment that turns into a bone saw, and that's how you fight. You just bone saw people's face.
But oh, you have to take pacifist. Interesting.
For what?
Oh wait, no, it's just the archetype. Never mind.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
no,
the
you,
type.
yeah,
It's
you,
just a suggestion.
yeah, you don't have to follow that. That's just like the typical patch man is sort of the
Yeah, the archetypes are
do
just
no harm thing.
archetypes are just like if you want to just jump into play, here's a dude that you can just slap your name on.
Just slap a race and your name on it. Except for
Okay, well-
the corporate guy. He has to be human.
Oh, interesting.
Because he takes 3 edges.
Edging for days.
And only humans get to do that.
That's right.
Oh, wait, there's actual edge for street dog. What is that?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
There are lots of edges.
Is that in the base one, or is that in this book?
No, the street dog edge is in the book.
Yeah. So the base book has all the general like mechanic edges. So most of like what you're going to be doing in combat and stuff will come from the base book, but things that are specific to like your type of character or your race or like either of the arcane backgrounds or hacking or like any of that stuff is going to come from the Interface Zero book. Because the core rules just aren't gonna touch on that stuff. But when it comes to like how good are you at shooting a gun, that's just all the core rules.
I see.
Yeah. All right.
Could also
What
be
is-
a street cleaner.
What's a street cleaner?
You clean up the streets with your gun.
Oh.
Or a power washer for graffiti.
You are a cleaner.
Oh, a digital power washer.
you
It's all
befriend-
digital.
You befriend an inappropriately young Natalie Portman.
That one wouldn't be too bad because you have to take repair, and that's how you fix yourself anyway.
Are you looking in the occupations right now?
Yeah. If you want a good occupation list, go to page 46. It doesn't describe what they do, but it explains what's required and what perks and money they give you.
Lays out all the mechanical meat.
What is a jump bike anyway?
What's a jump bike?
I'm gonna.
Fucking
It's a
nerd.
bike that jumps. Come on, man.
God damn it! I was gonna be the ass and say it, but yeah, it's a bike that jumps.
It's a bike.
Literally, it's just it just jumps like in Speed Racer when the car jumps with those ridiculous hydraulics.
And then teddy bears distract you and you run into a tree.
Wow. I was thinking it was something
Yeah.
cool like a hover bike.
I'm pretty sure that's what it actually is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Well, it's like a hover bike, but I mean, you know, its defining feature is that it jumps really high.
Oh, okay. Well, as
Really?
long as it's a hover bike, it's still fucking cool.
So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So
Okay. So let's back it up. Clearly, everyone has their concept, and I think everyone knows what race they're gonna play, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but-
now, so now we all get to determine our traits, which are our attributes, our skills, and that's it, because that's all we roll with. So attributes, if you want to think of, you know, like D&D, that's your agility and your strength and your constitution. Those are like the basic building blocks of your character's sort of physical and mental self. So the attributes in Savage Worlds are agility, strength, smarts, spirit, vigor.
Yes.
Yeah, got them all off my brain. In those, the most important thing they do is they determine how expensive it is to raise skills, and every skill has a ranked attribute. So if you want to be good at shooting, you kind of need to have a higher agility, otherwise it's going to cost you a lot to be good at shooting. You know, if you want to have a really high knowledge of something, you're going to need a higher smarts, otherwise you're going to spend all your points, all your skill points pouring into, you know, whatever the knowledge thing is. So everyone starts with 5 points to raise their attributes and 15 points to raise their skills. So the way everything in Savage Worlds works is, it, unlike most RPGs where, you know, you sort of raise the modifier that you roll with, in Savage Worlds you raise the die type that you roll with. So if someone tries to lift something really, really heavy, I ask for a strength roll. For really weak characters trying to do it, they roll a d4. For really strong characters trying to do it, they roll a d12. And then, you know, everywhere in between, depending on how, you know, shitty or sweet your character is. And then skills, for every point you spend, you get to first buy a skill at d4, and then every point thereafter raise it by a die type. And then, so let's say you want to be the best at shooting, but you only have a d6 in agility, every die type above d6 that you want to raise your shooting will cost you 2 points instead of 1. Bam.
now, Vex, because you haven't played this before,
Mm.
I want you to know that you are, at character creation at least, you are somewhat incentivized to go sort of broad with your skills.
Okay.
Because whenever we advance, which is like, it'll probably be like every other session.
2 or 3 sessions, depending on how good you guys are.
Right. you can either raise 2 skills that you have by 1 point each.
If
Right?
they're under.
If
the-
they're under, yeah. So 2 skills that you have by 1 point each if they're under the attribute, or buy a new one at D4.
Yes.
So like, but that's the whole advance is just buying it at D4. So like like I said, you're kind of encouraged to go broad with your skills.
I see.
'Cause it'll be cheaper to raise them later.
Can you ever
That's,
raise
uh,
attributes or?
Yeah.
Yes. So the way it works is you start play there are like ranks of, well, basically like what level your character is. There are different
Experience
ranks.
milestones would be how I put it.
Yeah, that's good. So you start play as a novice, and then every 5 points of experience you get an advance, and after you get 20 points of experience, you move from novice to seasoned, which is a new rank. So every 20 experience points you get a new rank, and each rank for 1 advance you get to raise 1 attribute.
Cool.
So like when you're a novice, like whichever advance in the sort of novice bracket, you can choose to, once raise 1 of your attributes. And then you get to do it again when you hit seasoned.
Cool.
Oh, also we're gonna play with the alternate rule for athletics, right, Dave?
Are we playing with skill specializations or no?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, that would just bog things down unnecessarily for no good reason.
Well, skill specialization, they say, is more for like the simulation experience. Whereas like without it, it's more of like you're watching a movie type experience.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Tom
mean-
Cruise can fly a plane, so why can't he fly a space shuttle? That kind of logic.
Mm.
That is
You
one of
dodge a
like my
wrench, you
most
can dodge a ball.
one of the tropes that always bothers me the most in movies is like, well, you're a physicist, so you must also be able to build an airplane, right? It's like, no, it doesn't fucking work that way.
But in our campaign, it does.
It's okay though. One of you's a bear man.
Therefore, your argument is invalid.
Is
I
true.
should
Is
slide.
is Bearman. Is Bearman.
Oh, Brian, have you read the Russian section in the book?
Tom, we both know the answer to this.
All right, you
Brian, I'm-
actually do need to read it.
I actually
Yeah.
don't. I actually
'Cause
don't
it
believe.
will help you.
I actually don't believe that you read it.
Russia.
You're
Russia
much more in
gets-
love with the idea of Russia.
No, of course I didn't. That's like, come on
Yeah,
now.
no, I knew he meant he didn't read it.
But yeah, Russia gets fucked real hard.
But they love androids.
Yeah,
Hey.
didn't most of it get like ed up by China?
The Chinese men.
All the frozen parts. Which is most of it.
No, Siberia thaws and the
Oh yeah, it's actually really like desirable because there's
Siberia
all kinds
thawed?
of
I didn't fully read it.
yeah, there's all kinds of resources that
Yep.
people were never able to get at before.
Siberia thaws out, and it's just like it's a hotbed of sort of natural resources in like arable land.
China just is
Yeah,
like,
it's actually
"This is mine."
And China's like, hey, cool. Try and stop us. Dirty Russian bastards. They can't.
Sounds about right.
I
We've-
love
gone-
China in this setting because it's basically like there weren't enough women for us to bang, so we're gonna conquer everything.
It's gonna happen. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, right? But
But you're gonna be that guy.
like 30% of Chinese males of a certain age will not be able to get married because there won't be enough women. And let me tell you, that's not a world they're gonna live in.
I guarantee somebody will start like a social networking site where it's like marryachineseman.com, you know, like it'll be like recruiting women from other